Greetings, beloved Princeton United Methodist Church community. It's Pastor Jenny with an update for you, and I'm reading today from John chapter 1. When Jesus turned and saw them following, he said to them, "What are you looking for?" They said to him, "Rabbi," which translated means teacher, "where are you staying?" He said to them, "Come and see." This is the word of life. Thanks be to God. This story is the call of the disciples, the first call of the disciples in the book of John. Every gospel account does it differently. It talks about this call of the disciples differently, but this one, people were there gathered to hear John the Baptist talking. And John kind of pointed to Jesus, and people, a couple of people, not a lot of people at first, took notice. And their question is very curious, isn't it? It's not perhaps what I think I would have asked. "Where are you staying?" they asked. But Jesus saw in them that they were looking for something and then invited them to come and see. I think in this moment, this was a moment for those disciples where everything changed. Their world opened up. Their perspective of the world, of God, of themselves, opened up, became bigger. This is part of what Jesus does for us all the time, if we let him, is to open up our perspective, open up our world. And I don't know if you've experienced this, but this is actually one of the kind of tenets of the United Methodist Church. We talk about the Wesleyan Quadrilateral. John Wesley didn't actually name these four things per se as one thing and call it the Wesleyan Quadrilateral, but Wesleyan scholars have taken Wesley's teaching and writing and said Wesley talked about four ways of four building blocks of our faith. And you may have heard us talk about this before: scripture, tradition, reason, and experience. But it's this experience thing that's happening in this passage today. And what that means is that we live lives. We live active, connected lives that in a world that is full of different people, different perspectives, different experiences, different cultures. And as we move through this world and we have these different experiences, it informs our faith. Like, we go out, we meet people, we do our work, we go to school, we learn things, we have these experiences, and then we let those experiences wrestle with our faith, with what we believe, with how we trust and what we trust. It's kind of this dance that happens. Our experience informs our faith informs our experience, and it changes. It is a dynamic process that happens. So I wonder, what are some of the come and see moments in your life? When have you, maybe you've heard those exact words, come and see, come and check this out, and it has meant something that has opened up your world some. Maybe it was an opening that you went in and followed and never turned around, never left that space. But maybe it was a space where you went and saw and you're good. You are ready to not see that again, or now that you know about it, you have chosen other things. All of these things, all of these experiences are good. They're helpful. They both help us know more of who we are and what we think, what our own perspectives are. But they also invite us, as we connect those experiences with God, with our faith community, in our prayer, in our conversations with other Christians, other Christ followers, it brings us closer. It also, or has the opportunity to bring us closer, but it also helps us as with these disciples, as they become Christ followers. This was the door that opened for them in this moment. As we become more and more Christ followers, we not only bring all those experiences and these perspectives, knowing more of who we are, but we find that in these spaces, these Jesus spaces, we also find how these experiences and perspectives come together with Jesus's, right? There's a way that when we decide to follow Jesus, we bring our whole selves and we submit ourselves to the teachings and way of Jesus. Hopefully, those things can integrate pretty well, but there's always something that we have to let go of, those things that aren't the ways of Jesus, as we continue to follow, as we choose to follow Jesus more. So it's this nuanced and interesting, complicated thing. The disciples did this. We see that all the way through their discipling, right? Even past the resurrection and ascension into the early church, they were more fully themselves at the end of that journey than they were at the beginning, one could argue. But they also were more of one mind, one heart, one way of following Jesus, even as they were very different people. So this is what we're wrestling with, is bringing together our own perspectives and finding that collective understanding of what it is to move through this world as a follower of Jesus alongside other followers of Jesus. So that was a lot of things that I just said. So I invite you to consider how these things come together, how we wrestle with our experience in the midst of our faith. And are there these moments that are come and see moments for us where something has opened up, something has changed, and where have we found or discovered Jesus in the midst of that opening, in the midst of that change, in the midst of that come and see moment? Friends, we have this coming Sunday our cookout. It's not really a cookout because we're not cooking out. We're bringing our own food. So it's a picnic, and we are gathering at Mercer County Park West on Sunday after worship. And you're all invited to come. Bring a friend, bring whoever. Bring your own food. We will have drinks, and we will have desserts. We'll have some ice pops and some things like that. You're welcome to bring things to share, but this is also for you to bring the bulk of your food for yourself, and we'll just share fellowship together. We're also inviting some of the other churches that have been in the conversations around our multi-site ministry with us. Some of the other churches have other things already planned for the day, so but we want to be welcoming and hosting for all the people who do choose to come. You'll have an opportunity, to get your picture taken for our online directory and meet people, greet people. Some people I'm sure you haven't seen in a while, and we would love to see you there. Know too that this is the last week for things like the two things for our nominations, for you to nominate somebody for leadership in the next year, and for you to participate or put your voice in for our strategic visioning process. So you'll find the links to both of those things in this happenings, and we would love for you to do that. I also need to announce that our annual church conference, Charge Conference, will be October 21st at 6 o'clock p.m. That's a Friday night, Friday evening, 6 o'clock p.m. It's via Zoom. We are asking for it to be a church conference, which means that all of our professing members would have a vote at that occasion. So that is our annual kind of church business meeting. That's where we're going to be voting on our change of governance structure. We also vote on clergy compensation and elect officers and do a bunch of different things at that opportunity. So that's coming. I hope that you will look out for our new interns. Samaila and Elise are at Princeton UMC for the next month. Mickey Hamilton is at Kingston, but she'll be back with us. Well, we're doing a rotation. We did this last year too, but there were more of them, and the rotations happened faster last year. So this year we're doing a month at a time at Kingston. So one person will be over there for a month at a time. So look for Samaila, Elise, and Mickey and welcome them. They've been around, but this is a new role that they're in. And remember that you are teachers of them. This is part of their schooling. This is part of their a learning laboratory, and we are a teaching church. So all of us are part of their growth, their education, and we both are led by them, and we help shape their leadership all at the same time. Friends, there's always lots going on. There are adult small groups forming. Children's ministry is back in the swing of things. Music ministry is back in the swing of things. Youth ministry is back in the swing of things. So take a look at all the different opportunities, and we hope to see you around soon. Peace and blessings to you. It is always a joy to be on this journey with you. Remember that you are enough because God is enough, and you were created for joy. Blessings and peace.